there are a lot of trends that we can look at on the periodic table. We've talked about several of those. We've talked about how the valence electrons are associated with the groups as well as the electron configuration and things like that. But there are a lot of other properties that are associated with the periodic table, and I'm just going to talk about a couple of those. The first one is the size of the atom. And the size of the atom increases as you go down the column or group as the valence electrons are farther from the nucleus. Okay? It decreases as you go across the row as the number of protons in the nucleus increases, and that pulls those valence electrons in closer and then holds them a little tighter, and then that decreases. Now, you increase as you go down the column and you decrease as you go across the row. So the highest one that you would have would be over here, right? Because this, if you go the opposite way, it's going to increase that way. It's going to increase as you go down and as you go across. So I call this property as a left and low. A left and low. Okay, so the farther left and low you go, the bigger the atom is. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Ionization energy is basically the amount of energy it takes to remove an electron from an atom. Okay, and so when you have sodium, for example, it takes a certain amount of energy to remove that electron and turn it into what we call an ion. So ionization energies decrease down the column and they increase as you go from left to right. So if you apply the thought process that I was using earlier, it's increasing this way, so it also increases going up. Right? So ionization energy is high and right. High and right. So the farther right and high you go, the higher the ionization energy is. And interestingly, fluorine, which is right there, is pretty much the highest ionization energy that you can have. Makes sense? Okay, that's it. Those are the two periodic trends you need to know besides those others that we talked about.